show you what you're missing. Paradise, with me you're winning, girl. You don't have to roll the dice. Tell me what you're really here for.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi, are you okay? So for today's video, I'm gonna do the most requested one, which is do my materials report. Now, for my topic, I'm gonna continue on discussing about Japanese pottery. Japanese pottery. So, for the Japanese pottery, to continue, is the Muromachi period, which was 1338 AD up until 1573 AD. So during this time, it was influenced by the Chinese tea ceremony. It stimulated the manufacture of the beautiful vessels for this ritual. So for this pottery, it is cha no yu, or it stands for hot water for tea. So, hot water for tea. So after the Muromachi, it was followed by the late Muromachi, which was famous for the Shigaraki kiln. So, the Shigaraki kiln originated its name from the famous area in Kyoto, which is the Shigaraki itself. So, for this pottery, it had the characteristic of a ceramic shape. Then, an example for this is a tubo. Tubo is a narrow-mounted jar for storage of seed. So, in its simplicity, it yields a remarkable beauty. So, even the simplest thing, such as like this, gives off an example of beauty. So, next is the Momoyama period, which was from 1500. The Momoyama period, it was during 1573 AD up until 1603 AD. So during this time, its stoneware and porcelain implements reflected the tasteful, subtle beauty of the tea ceremony. So, for this example is the rakuwares. So rakuwares is the height of the Japanese ceramic art. They are tea ceremony vessels, and also some are tiles. They are shaped by hand, so meaning they are manufactured through this. Its irregular form follow the aesthetic asymmetry. So another example for this Momoyama period is the Karatsu ware. So the Karatsu ware is influenced by Korean Chosun ware. Chosun. So when we say Chosun, it was also a time period in Korea. For this ware, it featured freehand geometric patterns, grasses, wisteria, painted in iron oxide. So as you can see, you can identify the grass pattern that is designed in the Karatsu ware. So another example for this is a bison ware. So a bison ware is a hard stoneware, basically brick red, but it is subject to irregular changes due to the alternating oxidization and the reduction of firing. So meaning, it doesn't always have the same outcome as other bisonware. Also, this type of pottery is unglaze. Now, we're done discussing about the Japanese medieval stoneware. To proceed, we're going to discuss about the decorated stoneware and porcelain. So, to start off with this topic, I am going to introduce to you Ogata Kanzan. So, who is Ogata Kanzan? Ogata Kanzan is a master period in Japan during the Edo period. He made a great range of pieces in many shapes and styles. His designs includes overglazed animals and underglazed paintings and ironwash. So, flash on the screen are examples made by Ogata Kanzan. So, isn't it nice, right? So, during that time, emaryware was also popular. So, when we say emaryware, what is an emaryware? It is a term used for brightly colored Japanese arito ware that is placed on pure white porcelain. So, here are examples of emariwares. Then, after the Edo period, there was also the late Edo period, in which it was during the 1800s until the 1860s. So, during that time period, emaryware declined. So, wala na siya ni sikat. Hapit na siya ma-cancelled ka na. Then, during the decline of emaryware, kakemon porcelain rose. So, na ay new style of porcelain na sikat. So what is a kakemon? So, kakemon is a style of Japanese porcelain with overglazed decoration called enameled ceramics. So, what is a kakemon? Kakemon is a style of Japanese porcelain with overglazed decoration called enameled ceramics. So yeah, that is the kakemon. It was a classically shaped ware and was more refined. Both use overglazed enamels. Nabashima ware. So what is a Nabashima ware? Nabashima ware is similar to silk textile in its design, but was reserved for exclusive families until the Meiji era, where it was commercialized. So, the definition of it was also a type of Japanese pottery, specifically an unusually high quality porcelain. So, high quality siya. Kana. Nice. Kana. Nice. Next is the Nabishima ware. Similar to silk textile in its design, but was reserved for exclusive families until the Meiji era, where it was commercialized. So, nandiyan siya difference before siya nisikat. So, next up is the Nabishima ware. So, what is the Nabishima ware? The Nabishima ware is a Japanese pottery, specifically an unusually high-quality porcelain arito ware. So, it is a high-quality product. Also, it is similar to silk textile in its design, but it was reserved for exclusive families until the Meiji era, where it was commercialized. So, nasikat na siya when the Meiji era started using it. So, additional information is the kintsugi. So, what is a kintsugi? Generally, it is described as a golden joinery, but for a deeper meaning or a more expounded meaning of it, it is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery by mending the areas of breakage with lacquer dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum, a method similar to the maki-e technique. So, it is a type of joinery for broken pieces. Now that we are done with the Japanese pottery, officially done, let's move on to glazes and its type. So, glazes. The very first is the transparent. So, it is like putting a layer of glass on your work. You can add small amounts of oxide so it continues being transparent, allowing you to see the decoration or the clay underneath. They're usually bright enamels. So, I think we already have an idea to what is transparent is. So it's clear, crystal clear. Clear. Next is the opaque glaze. So what is an opaque glaze? It is when a opaque substance is added to the base. Again, it is when an opaque substance is added to the base, such as tin, zirconium, titanium, etc., which makes base white and opaque. It can be shiny, matte, or satin. Crystallizations or simply crystallization. Crystalline glazes contain zinc and titanium oxides, which cause the crystals to grow. When the heat is raised, the glaze becomes fluid and forms the distribution of crystals on the pottery. That is why we sometimes see such patterns like this and this on a pottery, because of the process called crystallization. So another type of glaze is celadon. So, what is a celadon? Celadon is a Western name for a type of glaze first used in China. It was used on stoneware and on porcelain in attempt to imitate the color and texture of jade. So, ilag sundog ang jade. Ilagay copy ang jade. Sundog copy. Which ranges from shades of green to gray-green tones. So, we are familiar to this type of pot glaze man, diba? We can even see it sa mga malls lang karon, or kanang if mo to kag mga Japanese wares, you can see this type of glaze. And so, next is the tenmoku. Tenmoku. Tenmoku is a Japanese word for a type of tea bowl. Tea bowl. Made first in China during the Song Dynasty. Tenmoku glazes are easily recognizable. The animals are dark, from reddish browns to dark browns and blacks. Produced by a high iron content. So that is Tenmoku. Now for this part, we're gonna talk about the pricing of the raw materials, especially the ones commonly used. So, for this part, it is very important to know the basic pricing or even the minimum ones, because without this, we won't have any basis for the costing, which is the next topic from this. So, yeah. Now we're gonna talk about the money.
It's not about the money. It's how to make the world dance. Forget about the price.
So for the pricing of raw material, I've gathered around the most basic properties commonly used. So the number one most commonly used is the clay or the kaolin clay. The minimum price I've got, based from my research, is 126 peso per pound. If we make up ceramic, it will need to have the basic properties, which are silica and alumina. So from their pricing, from what I've also gathered or got, is that the minimum price for silica is also 126 peso per pound, while alumina is around 212 pesos per pound. If we try to make up ceramic, we'll need to have the properties such as the silica and alumina. As we know, these raw materials also has their own pricing. So for silica, from what I've got, the minimum price is 126 pesos per pound, while alumina costs around 212 pesos per pound. Also, if we try to make a porcelain, it also needs to have feldspar and bone ash. So, feldspar also costs around 126 peso per pound, while bone ash costs around 182 pesos per pound. All of the prices mentioned for the raw materials are based on their minimum pricing. Now that we discussed about the pricing of the raw materials, we can now proceed to the costing. Costing. So, how do you compute your costing for your pottery? So, the formula that we've got for this is to use the HRM method, which is the R's, rate, and the materials. So how do you do this? You need to gather the hours you spend in a week on your studio and making the pottery. And then you divide it after the units that you have made for the week. And then from that, we need to multiply it with the hourly rate. Then after we've got the result from that, we need to add the cost of materials that we've spent in making the pottery. So that would result in creating our price per piece of the pottery. So, example, let's do ceramic. So ceramic, let us assume that in your studio, you spend around 10 hours in making your pottery. And then within those 10 hours that you have spent, you made around 20 potteries. So let's calculate it. So for this part, we will need to get our calculator. So 10 divided by 20 is 0.5. Then we need to multiply 0.5 with our hourly rate. So according to the minimum wage of the Philippines, the hourly rate of each person is supposedly 290 pesos. So we'll multiply it with 290. So we've got around 145. And then, since the ceramic is composed of the properties such as clay, silica, let us assume that these are the raw materials that we've used. Clay, silica, and alumina. So that would cost around 126 plus 126 plus 212. I assume that we only use 1 pound each. So the final result for each pottery is 609 pesos. That's the pricing for the pottery. Now, let's try another example for this. And now let's do porcelain. So, for porcelain, it needs to also have clay. Because as we know, the characteristic of clay could withstand a high temperature. So it needs to be mixed with other materials to make the porcelain or other potteries. So, how much does a porcelain cost? Now let's add up the hours. Let's assume that I've spent 8 hours in making the pottery for the week. And I made around 16 units. 16 units. So that's a 0.25 as well. And then let's add up. Let's multiply it with our hourly wage, which is the minimum 290 for the Philippines. And then after that let's add up clay, 126 pesos per pound. I'm still assuming that we use 1 pound for making this. And then feldspar, which also costs around 126 pesos. And also 182. Boom! Now we've got 579 as a result. And that's how you do costing. And that's it, guys. That's my video for today. And if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell icon to keep you updated. And if you like my video, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and comment down below on what do you want me to do next. Don't forget to share with your friends and classmates. So, see you in my next one. Bye!